Alright guys, RoKage here and welcome back to the brand new video. Here we are, DC Dark Legion will be the topic. On today's video it is time that I make an updated global tier list, so we're gonna rank all champions in corresponding tier. So let we start immediately. Of course, leave a like and subscribe, and your opinions in the comment section below. I would really like to hear them. So let we start. Now, for some characters I won't go in full details because we already done it a million times, so I'll keep it simple. Then for some other characters I will go in more details. So Aquaman, in my opinion, can go in B tier. Oh, look at this, I need to switch this to tiers. Yeah, Aquaman can go in the B tier. He's a solid unit. I wouldn't put him in A, S or God, but definitely better than C and D tier. He's really good if you have like super high investment in him, and he can be a solid unit overall because of that control that he has. So he can gather the opponents in that one place, and that part can be useful. Arsenal, in my opinion, D tier. I don't use him. His usability is super low in this game currently right now. I guess when we get more outsiders he could go up. Atom, honestly, C tier. If you have him at full red stars, sometimes usable in certain situations, and maybe if you cannot use some other units or something like that, but I wouldn't put it higher than C tier. Bane, I wish he gets a buff. Honestly, he's a B tier, solid tank, solid damage, but these days, after all that crazy new units, he's a B tier. Batgirl can go definitely in the A tier, super good for buffing that crit rate, and overall super useful in the Bat family strategy with Nightwing, for example. Batman, honestly, B tier. I wish they buff Batman. He definitely deserves that. I know they've done certain buffs, but it's not enough. He's also missing some legacy piece or something like that, but overall I think either make a huge buff on Batman or make another Batman. Come on, Batman is like the main icon of this game pretty much. Okay, Adam, B tier. Yeah, he can go there. I'll put in the D tier. I saw some people actually using her, but in some rare cases and when they have some other super built characters, but overall I wouldn't put it higher than D tier. Captain Cold, C tier, maybe B tier. Let me think about this a little bit. Yeah, let's place him in the B tier. I believe that's really fair. And honestly, Black Adam, I'll place him in the C tier. These days, like before, he was incredible, especially for the early game, especially when you build him pretty with high stars. But currently, right now, I don't know. I believe his damage isn't it. And yeah, he needs also some buffs, or they also need to ascend him to a mythic character. That is something that I would like to see. Captain Cole can go in B tier because of that frostbite. You will do bigger damage after him, and he can be useful in some situations. Catwoman, D tier. I don't find her useful at all, especially when we are getting new Arkham Most Wanted characters. Easy D tier. Constantine, still God. Maybe in future he will drop to S tier, but currently right now, if you use him in Justice League Dark Team, for example, he's doing incredible damage, guys. Incredible damage, huge AoE damage, but you need a high investment on this unit so he can work and be godly. Still, Justice League Dark is maybe not as good as before, but still one of the most broken teams in the game. Cyborg can go into B tier, maybe for the combat cycle, even to the A tier, but let's leave it at B tier overall. He is really good because when he uses the ultimate, you do bigger physical damage. That's like his main usage. Then we have that shot, in my opinion as well, D tier. I just don't use him. I don't find him useful at all. He definitely, like, this D tier, they need to get a buff. Come on, they need to get a buff, and so many other characters in this game needs to get a buff, so just so they become more valuable overall. Deathstroke can go into S tier for PvP, even God tier, but let's put it overall S tier. He's completely destroying the backline super fast. Great survivability if you have his legacy piece, and just huge damage overall. Dr. Fate can definitely go into S tier, still extremely useful with the shields. Green Arrow, I'll place him, I don't know, C tier. Like, he definitely needs awakening to mythic so he can be more valuable. He's still a solid DPS, but that's pretty much it. He needs that awakening to mythic, and I believe then he'll be way more useful, and maybe even that A S tier. It really depends how they're gonna do it. Green Lantern as a support, super pay to win character, less pay to win than now, because even as a free to play you can get him, but it will take a long time, okay? So, but still pay to win character, let's get real. Extremely busted for the shield and the healing, but yeah, especially when you reach that higher stars overall. Harley Quinn C tier, I don't use her these days. I don't find her useful. Hog Girl can go into the B tier, but I wouldn't put it higher than this. Still, I'm not too much impressed with her. She's doing okay damage, okayish survivability, but yeah, B tier. I wouldn't go further than that. I was never impressed with her, and she needs buff as well. Killer Croc, C tier in my opinion. He has interesting attacks and interesting tank, but still, like many other units, he needs a proper buff so he can be extremely useful like before in early game, mid game, etc. Crypto, usually I always placed him in the God tier, but now S tier, because in PvP, in Meta Brawl, in my opinion, he still doesn't function like he should be. So that's why he's S tier and not God tier. He tend to have a delay with the heal, and that really messes you up, especially in Meta Brawl. But again, he's a free-to-play character, still amazing character, and Crypto is the most successful thing developers have done. Crypto, right? Okay. Lex Luthor, in my opinion, he can go in A tier. If you have high stars, he will actually do impressive damage. Okay. Martian Manhunter, A tier, strictly for PvP. I could even say S tier, but overall, maybe in future when we get more outsiders, his value will increase. He is a really solid damage dealers because of that counters, but nothing special. He's more like a tank overall. Mera, she can, I'm thinking between A tier and B tier, but when I look at this A tier characters, I believe she deserves to be in B tier. She's incredible healer for free-to-play players, because you will have her at red stars eventually and relatively fast. But still, in comparison to A, S, and God tier, especially with all the healers we have in the game, I would place her in the B tier. Nightwing, one of the most broken units in the game for both PvE and PvP content. He absolutely destroys everything. Combat cycle as well. And Meta Brawl, he's the king of Meta Brawl in my opinion. Absolutely busted unit, and I cannot wait until I get a rerun on my server, because I want to reach that purple stars, maybe even yellow stars. Okay, Harley Quinn, I mean Nurse Harley. I will leave it for the end with Death Metal, Wonder Woman, and Donna right here. Poison Ivy, honestly, in my opinion, she can go in S tier. I truly, like, I'm thinking between A and S, but I'll place in the S tier, especially now when, in my opinion, Arkham Most Wanted teams might become stronger with Nurse Harley. But okay, that's more pay to win strategy, of course, but in my opinion, she's still a super valuable healer, and with the Waynes, it can really mess up your strategies. But I'm still like SA. She would be like A plus tier. Yeah, I believe that would be the most fair. But I will still place her at S tier. I still find her super useful. I believe previously I ranked her A, but now I'll put her S tier. Hippolyta, extremely busted unit, God tier unit. It will give you insane amount of survivability. I've been using her at 1 purple star, and in Meta Brawl, in PV with my Superman family team, I did test her out and I'm heavily impressed. She gives your team insane amount of survivability, and that is exactly what my Superman family team needs overall. And then I can smash with Supergirl, Superman, do as much as possible damage. So yeah, Hippolyta, God tier. Razagul, mainly for PvP, you're gonna use him. A tier. Raven, she can go into A tier, maybe even S tier. Usually I always put her in the S tier. Yeah, for the Justice League Dark, as a support, I find her still incredible, especially at higher stars, so I'll place her at S tier. Now, Red Hood, I'm expecting Awakening to Mythic really soon. So definitely for now C tier, unfortunately, even though one of the most favorite characters in the game, especially for free-to-play players, but me personally, C tier, even at red stars, he's meh. He jumps, he goes for that AoE attack, and then he usually dies. That's the problem. But hopefully when he will be awakened to Mythic, he will be at least A tier. Please, please, please. Red Robin can go into the B tier. Solid tank, right? But nothing more than that. Then we have Robin. He can actually go easily into A tier, in my opinion. Amazing assassin. Still, until today, amazing assassin, and I'll place him right here. Scarecrow can definitely go in the S tier. Insane debuffer. Shazam can go like A tier for sure. Like I saw certain strategies, Shazam, Superman family. Wow, that's an incredible combination overall. And for that reason, and with all the taunt, and he's a good defender, yeah, I'll place him A tier, to be honest. He is between B and A, but me personally, I find him A tier. Sinestro, the most broken Legion of Doom character in my opinion, still deserves to go into God tier. If you have him at higher stars, he will do incredible damage, and he's a menace in Meta Brawl as well. Like super useful for both PvP and PvE. Starfire as well, incredible support, especially if you have her legacy piece. Like she will buff your damage, give you the heal and all of that. Great survivability, and just top tier unit that deserves to be right here. Stargirl, she can go into C tier. Yeah, before when the game started, super useful unit, but these days not so much. Superboy with Superman family, absolutely busted support that will buff your damage tremendously. Supergirl, incredible unit, top tier unit, God tier unit, AoE nuker. She works extremely well with Crypto and other Superman family like Superboy, Superman, and she destroys all content. In my opinion, maybe she's not as good in Meta Brawl, so for Meta Brawl S tier, but for all other content, absolutely God tier. Superman as well, he can definitely go into God tier. I have him at 1 red stars, and I truly believe that Superman needs one of the highest investments for both legacy piece and stars, so he can be God tier. Let's get real. When we get more and more crazy DPS single targets, he might fall off, but for now, still for me, he's absolutely destroying all the content, PV, PvP, and with the right strategy, he's still a God tier. Swamp Thing, overall, I would place him at S tier. I don't find him God tier after seeing certain showcases and everything else, but super interesting character. He might get better in future, maybe when we get more Justice League Dark teammates, but currently right now I believe he's more useful in Justice League Dark than Wonder Woman. Okay, like he's doing the damage right, he's reducing the current energy of opponents. He gains that spiritual AMP and it can stack up. Now ultimate, he deals the damage in a circular area and reducing their current energy. So he's incredible debuffer and solid damage dealer. At the start of the battle, Swamp Thing summons a swamp for 10 seconds. Its effects doubles if at least 3 Justice League's Dark allies are present. Swamp reduces damage taken by allies. So incredible debuffer overall. Not God tier, but definitely deserves to be in the S tier. Okay, Talia. C, B tier, something like that. I'm not too much impressed with her at all. Flash, S tier, incredibly busted in combat cycle. You're gonna use him a lot with certain strategies because he will buff your energy and the attack. Joker, he can go in the S tier, maybe for combat cycle, even God tier. But yeah, Joker still today is amazing DOT, damage dealer, damage over time, right? But yeah, he was God tier for a long time, but not anymore, unfortunately. Penguin, D tier. This is one of the units that I'm constantly talking about that he needs a proper buff. Penguin is one of my favorite villains from Batman, right? From DC, of course. And yeah, D tier. Two-Face can go in like, yeah, after certain adjustments. Yeah, definitely B tier. Definitely B tier. With Joker, he works extremely well. But Nurse Harley in that combo, I cannot wait to get her. I cannot wait to build her up. It will take a long time. But yeah, in my opinion, she's busted. And in my opinion, that Metal Wonder Woman is busted, even though some people are saying she's not what they expected, but some people are saying she's extremely busted. I believe it really depends how many stars you have on her. You're gonna see my ranking. She's going into D tier easily, to be honest. Yeah, she can buff that attack, but there's just like better options for this. Wonder Woman, in my opinion, still S tier. Beautiful control, beautiful shield. With the right investment, S tier. And now we have 3 characters that we're gonna go in a little bit more details. So, Donna. I'm still not happy with the amount of stars I have on her. Definitely if I played it pay to win, because I refuse to spend a dime on this event, even though I have a bunch of planet coins and everything else. So I won't build her up like I should as a content creator. But Donna Troy unleashes a flurry of lashes at an enemy, dealing physical damage equal to 120% of her attack plus 120 of her physical defense, and applying stacks of astral willpower. I mean, we can show her maxed. When an enemy reaches 4 stacks of astral willpower, Donna Troy gains a shield equal to 30% of her max HP for 10 seconds, and all Amazon's allies' damage dealt is increased by 30%. I believe Donna is incredibly amazing if you're gonna use the full Amazon team. Overall, for other teams, she's good, maybe even really good, but not as good as Amazon's team. Donna Troy charges at the enemy and slashes, knocking them down, dealing physical damage equal to 660% of her attack, and applying 3 stacks of astral willpower. Also permanently reduces the target physical defense, so you will do more damage. She's a debuffing here. When an enemy reaches 4 stacks of astral willpower, they take physical damage equal to 220% of Donna's attack, plus 220% of her physical defense. So she will scale both from attack and physical defense here. And here she's gonna do a debuff for everyone. Let's get real, right? But again, she'll work the best with Amazons for sure. At the start of the battle, all Amazons and Teen Titans allies gain 50% physical defense up. She has a great potential for the Teen Titans team as well. Okay, especially in future when we get even more broken Teen Titans, I believe her value will increase. Overall, I would place her for now in A tier. A to S tier. Amazons, I would even say S tier, but overall, I will place her at A tier. Please tell me your opinions. I did test her out now, White Stars a little bit and everything else. She worked fine, but I was nothing too much impressed for now. Maybe after higher investments, of course. I mean, I know at all White Stars how she's performing, but I know for a fact that at least those blue star, purple stars is where I can do a proper review of her and the showcase. So take it with a grain of salt, but for now, I'll place her in the A tier. And then, Zatanna, S tier. After the buffs and everything else, Zatanna is now pretty good overall. And now 2 units that I'll place in the God tier, in my opinion. That Metal Wonder Woman and Nurse Harley, in my opinion, both of them can go in the God tier. Solely based on the kit. Like, no joke, I'm so confident that they're incredibly busted. Now, Wonder Woman, that metal, free-to-play players, forget about this. Low spenders, forget about this. Medium spenders, forget about this. Whales and orcs are the only ones that are building up this unit. I won't get her because I refuse to spend a dime on this type of events when they're like stupidly greedy. If you make a unit exclusively pay to win, I'm fine with it. Many gacha games are doing it, but don't do it in like super greedy way. Make it fair. So at least all pay to win players can get her and build her up to certain usability. Even though I would prefer that free-to-play players also can get her, at least for collection purposes. Because she's a new rarity, iconic, that's pretty much how it goes in the gacha games. I'm well aware of that, I played enough. Now, with her, I would say that you need to spend a ridiculous amount of money, so she's super broken. Yellow stars, red stars, she will destroy, I assure you. Especially if you build the full Amazon team with that amount of Wonder Woman, Hippolyta, Donna, for example, and all of that, you're gonna destroy. There is no question in my mind. Wonder Woman Death Metal swings her chainsaw, dealing physical damage equal to 1200% of her attack, plus she scales both from attack and physical defense like Donna, plus 1200% of her physical defense to nearby enemies. After she casts her ultimate, this skill no longer used actively for the duration. Instead, it increases her chain lighting by 100%. Increases Wonder Woman Death Metal physical penetration by 100%. When an enemy is defeated nearby, she restores 20 energy. Look at the ultimate. Enters her ultimate form, continuously consuming energy until it's depleted. While active, she gains super armor, can recover energy, and enhances her basic attacks with chain lighting that arcs up to 5 enemies, dealing physical damage equal to 400% of her attack plus 400% of her physical defense. Upon casting her ultimate, Wonder Woman Death Metal gains 100% bonus physical defense for each Amazon's ally present. If you're gonna use a full Amazon team, she will explode, in my opinion. Especially at yellow and red stars. And yeah, that's like for the people who gonna spend a crazy amount of money, she's a god tier, in my opinion. I could be wrong, and maybe she's S tier, but there is no way that she's lower than S tier. Like, I don't see it, I will never see it, okay? Yeah. I will stick to my opinion, God tier, bro. Increase all champions' physical defense by 10 and warrior champions' attack by 5. And then we have here Health Distortion. Definitely, if you build her up, if you spend such a crazy amount of money, of course you will get Health Distortion. Because spiritual resistance will increase. After she casts her ultimate, she doesn't consume energy for 5 seconds. That's a big deal. Her basic attack deals an additional physical damage equal to 2% of the target max HP. It's capped at 80. And Encore increases the wearer's physical defense by 40, which is huge because her damage also scales from physical defense. And after casting their ultimate, the wearer gains a shield equal to 600% of their physical defense for 10 seconds. Please, everyone who is using her, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. If people build her to yellow, red stars, and mainly whales will spend money for this, and orcs, so most likely they will go this far, purple stars as well, I would place her in God tier. Please tell me your opinions. I would really like to hear it. Still take the Wonder Woman ranking with grain of salt. Read the comments as well, but this is my opinion. And then we have here Harley, Nurse Harley. I cannot wait to get her. I believe she will make Arkham Most Wanted team go crazy. With the Joker and the Two-Face, I believe they're gonna go crazy in the combat cycle specifically. I believe they're gonna do insane damage over time. But for PvE content overall, incredible. Maybe even PvP, I don't know. We need to try that out. So dealing physical damage, 750 of attack, and inflicting 4 stacks of corrosion. While in self-actualization, Nurse Harley's crit rate also increases. Nurse Harley active attacks deal 60% more damage. For every 1 stack of debuffs on the target, the damage is increased by an additional 0.4%. The combined bonus is capped at 100%. Again, for her to work, in my opinion, again, those purple stars, especially yellow and red ones, you will destroy. There is no question in my mind. Nurse Harley enters self-actualization for 13 seconds. While in this state, her basic attacks fire corrosive shots, each dealing physical damage equal to 400% of her attack and inflicting 2 stacks of corrosion. Corrosion is DOT. Deals physical damage equal to 4% of the Nurse Harley attack per second, stacking up to 100 times. Her and Joker in combination, I love it. At the start of the battle, Nurse Harley gains 1 stack of attack road for each Arkham Most Wanted ally present. So mainly she will go crazy with Arkham Most Wanted units. It can go up to 5 stacks. Each stack increases her attack by 3% every 1 second up to maximum of 30%. She will just do bigger and bigger and bigger damage longer you have her in the battle, pretty much. That's certain. There is a cap for all of this, but increase all champions attack. Okay, that's global skill. And then you have here legacy piece. Increases Nurse Harley attack by 15%. During her ultimate, each attack deals an additional physical damage equal to 3% of the target max HP, capped at 100% of Nurse Harley attack, and it's not affected by Madness actualization. Delirium Strike increases the rear's crit rate by 10%. Upon casting, the ultimate crit damage is also increased. I see her as a god tier. Tell me, for the people who already have her, at least at Purple Stars, tell me how she's performing with Joker and Arkham Most Wanted team. But in my opinion, she will go nuts with that damage over time. Yeah. Again, Donna, Nurse Harley, and that Metal Wonder Woman, take it with a grain of salt. Because this is mainly ranking based on the certain showcases I saw. And mainly the review, the text, and the community thoughts, but also included my opinion here mainly. That's why I pushed both that Metal Wonder Woman and Nurse Harley to God tier. But please, these 3 characters, take it with a grain of salt. Other units, I'm firmly standing for the ranking, but please, your opinions in the comment section below. I would really like to hear them. Okay, that's it. Again, that Metal Wonder Woman and Nurse Harley, super pay-to-win characters. Yeah, in theory, Nurse Harley you can get as a free-to-play, but you will need to play this game forever. Like, no joke. But such a pay-to-win characters with such a kit description, there is no way they're not god tier. There is no way. I just don't see it. Okay, let's end the video here. Donna, I'm thinking AS for now, A tier. That will be it. Thank you for all support. Love ya. And bye.